Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Pages, in which I talk about some of my many books, how they came into my life, why I keep them, what I love about them. This is Episode 4, and we are talking about The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, which I routinely recommend. It's a little thicker than what I normally would recommend. This particular copy is a library discard, so it's still got the GVPL barcode on it and the sci-fi little logo on the side and the first letters of the last name, Dewey fiction stuff. Um, I was late to the Night Circus. When it was released, I wasn't paying much attention. I was in a rough time in my life. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I sort of missed the boat on this one. When I found it at a library discard sale, and when I eventually got around to reading it, I kicked myself over and over for not having read it sooner. But on the other hand, it probably found me at the right time in my life. One of the reasons I like this book is it reminds me that a book which was completed during NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, can actually go on to do well. It can be published by a major publishing house. In this case, watch me try and Doubleday. Okay. Um, and, it can go on to do very well. I am actually surprised they haven't tried to make a film adaptation of this one yet, because it is definitely ripe for that. It's close to 400 pages. Which makes it a little bit tough, but it's aimed at a sort of a younger audience. It's not quite young adult, but it's pretty straightforward in most of its writing. Now, it is sort of a couple of different stories happening at once, and I think that's really what dragged me into it. You've got competing magicians, each trying to train a new ingenue. And those children meet at this night circus. So when after one of them has arrived at this night circus and met the person that will be his sort of competition, he thinks he might be just losing his mind, except that he kept a single white glove. So he has some tangible evidence, and he goes to hide it in a place that is meaningful to him. So he goes up to this treehouse. To make the tree his own, he even goes so far as to move the wooden box in which he keeps his most valued possessions from its standard hiding spot beneath a loose floorboard under his bed to a nook in the oak tree, a substantial indentation that is not quite a hole, but secure enough to serve the purpose. The box is fairly small, with tarnished brass hinges and clasps. It's wrapped in a scrap of burlap that does a fairly good job of keeping it protected from the elements, and it sits securely enough that it has not been dislodged by even the most resourceful squirrels. Its contents include a chipped arrowhead he found in a field when he was 5, a stone with a hole straight through it that is supposedly lucky, a black feather, a shiny rock that his mother said was some sort of quartz, a coin that was his first never-spent pocket money, the brown leather collar that belonged to the family dog who died when Bailey was 9, and a solitary white glove that has gone rather gray from a combination of age and being kept in a small box with rocks, and several yellowed folded pages filled with handwritten text. After the circus departed, he wrote down every detail he could remember about it so it would not fade in his memory. The chocolate-covered popcorn, The tent full of people on raised circular platforms, performing tricks with bright white fire. The magical, transforming clock that sat across from the ticket booth, doing so much more than simply telling the time. While he catalogued each element of the circus in shaky handwriting, he could not manage to record his encounter with the red-haired girl. He never told anyone about her. He looked for her at the circus during his 2 subsequent visits during proper nighttime hours, but he had not been able to find her. And when the circus had gone, vanished as suddenly as it had appeared, like a fleeting dream, and it's not returned. The only proof he now has that the girl even existed and was not a figment of his imagination is the glove. This book is full of passages like that. Very descriptive, melancholy, mystery. There's so much mystery in this book, and I think that's what I love the most about it, is that it just unfolds in unexpected ways. It's at times playful and at times a little terrifying. It's just really worth your time, especially if magic and magic realism are your thing. I read it right after I read Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and so I was already sort of primed in the whole, magic in our world kind of thing. And I think the 2 of those books actually make really nice companions to one another. Jonathan Strange's Mr. Norrell is a little bit more of a slog to read. It's double the size of this book, partially because of all the footnotes in it. But this is not a recording about that book. This is about the Night Circus. I just wanted to call it The Night Kitchen. That's a different book, and that's going to be on another episode. So the Night Circus, easy to find out there. Go and pick up a copy. I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And yeah, that brings us to the end of episode 4 of Pages. And I hope you're subscribed, and I hope you'll come back again and hear what else I have to talk about. I mean, we still have to get to the Night Kitchen, right? Thanks. Later.